And there's the Terminator.
I just saw Terminator Dark Fate last night.
Oh, how was it?
I loved it.
Really?
Okay.
Like, I loved it. I can't stop thinking about how much I liked it. I was blown away because I had decent expectations based on the fact that, like, Roxy really liked it. But I did not expect to like it as much as I did.
New era, baby.
Hello, everyone. Welcome to Afterlife. I am your brand new host taking over. Yes, I know it's weird. Sara. Super excited. This has been a great week. You know, we have a new Collider Live, new Afterlife going on. I'm not alone, though. With me is one of my co-hosts, Mike.
Hey! Hey!
Hey. And my other co-host with me is Shawn.
Mike, you sound much too happy. I don't like it.
What? This is exciting for us. This is a new chapter in Afterlife for us.
Yeah, I guess.
I feel like it's my two brothers that are just going to pick on me, and it's going to be great. I'm so excited. But we're not alone. With us, we're so excited. We have the current Schmodown Teams and Inner Geekdom Commissioner, the 2018 Manager of the Year. She's going to be the manager of the Fife Club once again, coming back, and the brand new co-host regular of Collider's Jedi Council. We have Miss EMMA FYFFE.
Hey guys, thanks for having me on the show. I mean, what great timing with you saying, like, this is the all new Afterlife. It's a new era of Collider Live and Jedi Council, which we're getting started with shortly. At the time we're recording this, tomorrow. But yeah, glad to be here.
We're so excited to have you.
Very excited.
Very excited.
Stole my line, Mike.
It's just excitement all around. Great word.
So we can go ahead and just jump in. Let's talk about Schmodown a little bit. You are currently, right, still the commissioner for Team.
I am, yeah, and until the end of the year, because I won that job last year in the Commissioner Bowl, which it was funny how that whole sort of thing came about, because a lot of the time, as we're kind of going through with Schmodown, I think that with that Schmodown Spectacular, Christian just wanted to do something akin to the Manager Bowl that we had done the year before. And so he's like, oh, we're going to do this Commissioner Bowl. And he's like, do you want to play? And I was like, okay, yeah, sure. That's fine. Thinking like, oh, well, Christian's the former singles champion. He's playing in this. There's no way that I'm going to win this thing. And then, it just kind of worked out.
So it wasn't your plan to ever like become commissioner?
No, not particularly. But it was funny once we kind of started going with the, as the storyline was kind of taking shape, and obviously, Tom and I have had a thing going on for years at this point. It kind of was like, well, if we're going to have Tom in the Commissioner Bowl, like trying to win the commissionership, then I also definitely need to be involved. So again, that it's always been about just trying to take down Tom, which didn't work out in Florida, but he got really lucky with his round 3 choices. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that was just interesting.
Yeah. I mean, it's a game though. And I think, in his interview after losing the belts, Mike Kalinowski was talking about the fact that it's a game. There's elements of it that you can't control. In a perfect world, if you could control everything and you could always get your strengths, then you dominate every time. It's like if you get a category in Jeopardy that you're really strong in, like you're going to run the board, piece of cake. But sometimes it just doesn't go your way.
What's the difference between a manager and a commissioner?
I mean, I think for me, with being the commissioner, and for me, that's sort of been secondary this year to me running the Patreon, which has kind of been my big focus. Cause I think there was a lot that I wanted to do there in terms of kind of building up the Schmodown community that I think has worked out in a really nice way. I mean, it's as a commissioner, you're like, your job is a little more unclear because it's kind of largely based on what Christian wants to write storyline wise. Whereas, when you're a manager, regardless of what kind of storyline stuff is coming up, your job is to be there for your team and to support your team and, you know, kind of guide them on the path to victory, which is obviously something that I was rather successful at during my stint as a manager, particularly where Clark and Rachel are concerned. So,
and on top of running the Patreon, you also run the Discord server, right?
Yeah, I built the Discord server for the Patreon because I wanted to have a way that it was easier for me to communicate with people. I hate the Messenger part of the Patreon page app, all of it. I hate the Patreon app in general.
Yeah.
It's garbage. It's horrible. And the Patreon Messenger, the problem is that it's like if you message a bunch of people, everybody perceives it as their own individual message. So someone will respond to it and then you have to like dig through and try to find the response. And I was like, I just want an easier way to be able to communicate with people and for everybody to be able to communicate with each other. And so that's why I built the Discord server for Schmoedown patrons, because I think that one of the things that was really nice with launching the Patreon, and this, you know, goes back to Brienne running it in 2018, but I think that it really came to show everybody that there were a lot of really nice, supportive Schmoedown fans out there, which isn't to say that it was a horribly toxic fan base. It wasn't, but it's just that served as a way to kind of unite all of the people that really care about this thing and get a lot of enjoyment about it and kind of found a way for them to all connect. And so I just figured with putting that Discord server in place that it would be, you know, just another step in sort of forging this really strong fan community.
Yeah, and it's really worked because there's a fan league going on over there, isn't there now as well?
There is, yeah. We have got a Discord fan league, and I actually called one of their exhibition matches, which was really fun. It was, you know, the daughters of a couple of the competitors.
Oh, that's awesome.
Yeah. It was adorable. It was a teams match. They were so cute. They dressed up. Like, it was great. But yeah, so, and again, it was just this way of being like, hey, here are all these cool people that like a similar thing. Let's find a way to put them all together. And I think that that's something that I have definitely seen in particular this year in going to live events, is that there's this really cool, like, camaraderie that's developed amongst the people who go to the shows. Like, there was this one girl who came to the show in Florida and she had messaged me and said she was really anxious about going because she'd never gone to anything like that before. And you know, I kind of wrote back and forth with her and said, you know, I've never felt like unsafe at these events. Everybody that comes is really cool. And, you know, here's kind of how everything should time out in terms of, you know, when things get started, when we'll be done with photos, et cetera, et cetera. And so she came up to me during the VIP photos afterwards and she like freaked out a little bit and then sent me a really nice email that was like, oh, I just wanted to say, hey, that was me. And thank you so much for, you know, kind of talking me through my anxiety about going. I'm so glad I went. I had such a great time. Everyone there was so cool. And I met all these great people. And so I think that a lot of the best friendships really are born out of bringing these people together that like really specific things. And it makes people feel like, oh, I'm less alone, even if you do say live in some tiny little town where nobody else likes the same obscure 80s anime as you. That you know, with the internet and with things like the Schmoedown and Discord servers and social media, like that is the positive aspect of the internet, is that it brings these people together.
Yeah, the internet's not all bad.
It's not all bad. Yeah.
Yeah. So I have another kind of off of the Schmoedown question.
Sure.
Sara, Mike, do you guys have anything else to ask about the Schmoedown before I derail the conversation?
I was going to ask, what was your favorite live event?
Oh, my favorite live event? It was probably Chicago. I have to be honest. That whole Star Wars Celebration weekend was, it was magical. Again, we were talking about how the internet isn't all bad. If you look at the internet, it often looks like Star Wars fandom is pretty bad. Mm-hmm. But my experience going to Star Wars Celebration was that Star Wars fandom is awesome. Everybody was there because they like Star Wars, and they were there because they just wanted to get together and enjoy this thing that they like. And I felt just so accepted by that whole community. Like, I would walk around the floor at Star Wars Celebration, and every 5 to 10 feet, somebody would recognize me and they'd get excited and they'd be like, "Oh, Emma FYFFE, can I take a picture with you?" I'm like, "Are you sure Daisy Ridley's here?" Like,
oh man.
And I mean, that crowd in Chicago, I mean, it was 1,000 people. It was just nuts. So that was unbelievable. Though the Orlando event, we had such an amazing audience as well. And that Houston event, actually doing the Schmodown in a wrestling arena was pretty cool too.
Okay, so hear me out before it gets weird.
Okay.
I did meet you at E3.
Okay.
Yes, it was very awkward. I was going to go play Final Fantasy 7.
Oh, I was probably hanging around the square bit.
Yes. And I did bump into you, and very awkwardly said hi. But my question was, it looked like you were kind of waiting around to play the game. Did you get to play Final Fantasy 7?
Oh yeah, I did. Actually, I have a review of the demo on my Instagram and also on the Collider Gaming channel, I want to say. I played. The good folks at Square Enix are pals of mine, so
good.
I have a little hookup there. But yes, I did get to play, and it was freaking unbelievable. The battle system is so much fun.
It's so good.
Oh my god, it's great. I loved it.
So
you got to play too?
Yes, I did get to play. I just came in and they were throwing tickets at people, and I was like, "Oh, okay,
nice.
Yes, I'll play."
Yeah, that's awesome. Yeah, those little Shinra train tickets, those were dope.
Yes, it was awesome. A great experience.
Yeah.
The game was awesome. So besides the Final Fantasy VII remake, what was your favorite thing you played at E3? I know it was a while ago.
It was a while ago. I think I played the demo of Luigi's Mansion. It's the best. I mean, it just came out too. Mm-hmm. It's the best Ghostbusters game that Ghostbusters. Kind of like Fire Emblem Three Houses is the best Harry Potter game that's not Harry Potter.
Oh, the game's so good.
Oh, it's so good. But yeah, Luigi's Mansion is dope.
So, Emma, I know that you were a theater major.
I certainly was.
Since we were told you were coming on the show, I've been super excited to talk theater with you because I have no one to ever talk about it. I also was a theater major in college for a little bit, and then I transferred out. But I just have a few questions about theater.
Sure.
Obviously. What was your favorite show that you ever did?
My favorite show I ever did was probably Company. The Stephen Sondheim musical. I played April, the dumb flight attendant girlfriend. It was real fun. And my buddy Jake, who played Bobby, he just wrapped up being in Kinky Boots on Broadway, and now he's in a new play that I'm totally spacing on the name of, but it's like a play. It's not a musical, and he's really, really excited about it. But yeah, probably Company. I just love that show. I love Sondheim.
Oh, me too. He's my favorite.
Yeah.
And he just knows. Yeah, I love Sondheim. I actually went off on this podcast about Merrily We Roll Along.
Oh my god, I've been listening to Merrily We Roll Along. I freaking love that show so much,
too.
And especially being somebody that is in the entertainment industry living in LA. Oh my god, I'm I need to be in this show. I want to produce this show. I don't know. I love it so much.
This is the first person that I've ever said that to. That's I love that show.
It's so good.
It's great. I saw it at like one of the local colleges, and I knew nothing about the show, but I went and saw it, and I was like, "This is amazing!" Like, it's great.
Yeah. We did my senior year. We did a like musical theater review class, and we were just doing like bits and songs and stuff from different shows, and everything we did. I think it was. I can't remember if it was Sondheim, Gettel, and LaChiusa or just Sondheim and Gettel, but it was, like we basically were like, let's do weird composers that don't make melodic songs. And we did a bunch of stuff for Merrily We Roll Along, and that was when I really fell in love with the show.
Yeah, it's a great show. So I have a question. Do you think, there's a lot of like stage actors and like famous Broadway stars like Sutton Foster, Daveed Diggs, who are kind of have a harder time like when they transfer to film and TV, like really becoming those big stars. Why do you think that is? I mean, it kind of, let's circle back to, I was just talking about my friend Jake, I'm going to look up the play that I'm literally going to look on his Twitter right now and figure out what this play is, because I feel so bad that I cannot remember the name of it. And also it's apparently amazing and I would love to promote them. So give me a second. It is called, come on. Anyway. But I mean, one of the things that like Jake and I were talking about when I saw him, in New York when we were there for Schmodown was I was like, we, said like, he said it was crazy to him that he was even able to get, the name of the play is The Inheritance. Okay.
That he was able to get an audition for this very serious play, having his credits be Spider-Man Turn Off the Dark, Kinky Boots, and Pretty Woman the Musical.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's a lot of what it is, I think, is that people are like, oh, there's obviously some exceptions. Like Brian Darcy James has had a very, very successful and serious career in television in particular. But, I think that's exactly what it is. It's that it's harder to be taken seriously when you're like, cool, I'm thoroughly modern Millie,
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean those people aren't incredibly talented. They are incredibly talented, and more often than not. And I think, comedians go through this a little bit as well with trying to make the transition into doing drama. And more often than not, they're insanely good at drama because in a lot of ways, comedy is harder. And it's the same thing, I think, with musical theater. It's just that people are like, oh, musical theater, it's all fluff and tap dancing.
Yeah. Is there a show, do you like point out one show to people when they say like, oh, all musicals just like Sound of Music or The Music Man? And
oh,
like,
yeah.
There's this.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I would point out things like, gosh, I'm trying to think. I mean, obviously, like you look at a lot of the Sondheim stuff and that's very psychological. I point to, I know a lot of people that do not love musical theater that are into like Company in particular, because that's just about like relationships and growing older and being unsure about you want, which again is something that super resonates with me as an adult. I love, one of my favorite shows is, City of Angels.
Okay.
Which is a like jazz musical. And it's a cool like back and forth of basically this guy he's like a, like Pulp Fiction author. He writes like detective novels. And they're really, really successful. And so somebody in Hollywood wants to make a movie out of one of his books. And so it's about like the screenplay being written, and it's back and forth between stuff that's happening in the screenplay and what's happening in his real life. And all the characters in the story are inspired by people in his real life, and they're played by the same actor. And it's just so good. But I think too, even with things like the popularity of Hamilton, coming around, people are starting to realize like, oh, musical theater isn't all just Sound of Music. This is all rap and hip hop. And it's also about the founding fathers. Like, you know what I mean?
It's amazing.
Yeah, it's great. So I love that stuff. And then, meanwhile it's things, but then, you also get more sort of traditional musicals. Like I just went and saw Anastasia, at Pantages, which was great. It's very different from the movie, but it's still great. But again, and that is certainly much more like traditional musical theater with like big numbers and stuff. But then like I saw a couple years ago at Amundsen, Fun Home, which is about, Alison Bechdel. And I think there's maybe 9 people in the whole cast or even less. So, you know.
So I'm going to go ahead and switch the subject again.
You're like, I don't know anything about
well, there is, yes, no, listen, I love Phantom of the Opera. Does that count?
Yeah, sure.
Yes, that's my favorite musical.
I love Phantom. But there is another show that you're starting very soon, tomorrow, Jedi Council, and you're co-hosting with Ace and Ken Napzok, right?
That is correct.
I'm very excited. Some might say that I talk about Star Wars too much, and they are very much correct.
I'm really just beyond thrilled to be working with both Ken and Ace. Ken has been in my life professionally and personally for a long time now. And so it's really great to be able to be developing this show with him. And Ace is just, it's funny. There are people who are old school, like Schmoes Know fans who all know Ace and are stoked about it. And then there's a handful of people that are like, who is that? But he's so smart and he's so articulate. And, we all had lunch yesterday and kind of talked about, the kind of stuff that we want to do with the show. So it's going to be good. So
that is actually one of the things I wanted to ask you about in regards to the show, coverage. I know that I would probably say we are living in a period of time where there is more Star Wars content being put out than ever before.
I would say that's true.
Yeah, among all the books and the comic books and the TV shows.
Yeah.
So, and I'm not sure it's possible to consume it all. What is your guys' I guess not plans, but ideas on what specifically you want to try your hardest to cover? 'Cause there's a lot.
I mean, obviously we're going to focus a lot on, cause I mean, you have to focus on the big things that people are more likely to be consuming, because that's how you grow your audiences, is people are looking for more coverage of that kind of stuff. So we're actually going to be on Collider doing separate videos that are reviews of The Mandalorian from week to week. It doesn't mean that we're not going to touch on it on our show. We definitely are. But it's going to be like if you want to see more thoughts, then go watch this other video where we just really talk about the episode. But one of the things that we're really focused on, and again, like we've got contacts and stuff over at Del Rey who are gonna, continue to send us books and things like that. So we're going to do things like book reviews. And then, in terms of comics and stuff, I'm actually friends with, Jody Hauser, who writes a bunch of the Star Wars comics. So I'm hoping to have her on the show, to kind of really give us a good sort of lesson in where we are with Star Wars comics right now. But yeah, and we want to do a whole series like in preparation for the Clone Wars animated series, because who knows if that's going to end up getting a separate video review or not. But one of the big things that we're going to be focusing on in the next couple months is kind of the greatest moments of the Skywalker saga leading up to the release of The Rise of Skywalker. We really want to get back in touch with like the why people love Star Wars and why we specifically love Star Wars. We're definitely going to be digging into some like Star Wars lore stuff every single week. And yeah, just, also, going forward, trying to do a little bit more with sort of the Star Wars fan community, like maybe going and learning the different, lightsaber fighting styles at the Saber Guild or something like that. So yeah, we're really trying to move in the direction of the show being more of a show and less of a video podcast of people just sitting around talking about the news.
Awesome. Hearing you say that you guys want to get back to what people love about, or talking about what people love about Star Wars makes me very happy, because I don't know if you've noticed, but the fan base is a little on edge right now.
Yeah, but again, like I'll circle it back to talking about my experience in Chicago at Star Wars Celebration, was that it very much wasn't like that. Like
that's
everyone in Chicago was there to love Star Wars, and it truly renewed my soul. And it really did. And it makes it so much easier to ignore all of those negative voices, because all it is a small group of people in an echo chamber. The majority of people out there love Star Wars. They want to be here to celebrate Star Wars and to just like connect with other people that love this space fantasy about wizards with laser swords. You know what I mean? Like, yes. That's what it is. That's what Star Wars is, you guys.
Yes, I love it. Yes, but hearing you say that makes me very happy. I was already very excited for the new iteration, and I am even more so now.
Yeah.
More specifically, talking about new things that have just come out, just because I've been reading it, have you read Resistance Reborn?
No, I have not read Resistance Reborn yet. Everybody has been saying it's amazing.
It is. It's real good.
I cannot wait to read it. I like, again, it started getting so much buzz and I went, oh man, I guess I gotta read this book.
I told somebody that it almost feels like the Infinity War to Endgame.
Okay. All right.
It almost feels like this one is like, all right, let's rally the troops. And then in 9, this is our resistance.
I will definitely read it, before the movie comes out.
Yes. And then I'll ask you one last question about Star Wars, or actually I have 2 more questions. The first one, of the new novels that have come out, which one is your favorite?
I really loved, in terms of like the more recent one. My most favorite of all the canon novels, is either Catalyst, or Bloodline.
Okay.
I'm a huge Claudia Gray fan. I loved Master and Apprentice.
Yeah. I'm a big Claudia Gray fan as well. I love Lost Stars. Lost Stars is like...
Lost Stars is great too! And there's a manga adaptation of Lost Stars.
I've heard! I haven't seen it.
It's great. You can get it on Comixology.
Yeah. Lost Stars is like peak Star Wars in my opinion.
Yeah.
But the last question, you did a show for a while on Hyper RPG. Pencils and Parsecs?
That's correct, yes.
Yes. I had it written down, but then I scrolled away from it and I was like, did I get the name right?
You nailed it.
That was running Edge of the Empire, right?
Mm-hmm, yeah. It was an Edge of the Empire campaign that we did for almost 2 years, pretty consistently. And it takes place about, I want to say maybe, I can't remember if it was 6 months or a year after the destruction of the first Death Star. So it's like in the in-between period between, Star Wars A New Hope and The Empire Strikes Back. And it was basically about this sort of ragtag group of ne'er-do-wells, who get roped into basically being, mercenary, like errand folk, for the Rebel Alliance.
So,
but of course, it was very deeply connected to like their own ancestry. It got crazy.
I'm sure. So my question with that, I keep seeing more and more source books get released. Like I think they just did one for the Clone Wars or 2 for the Clone Wars or something.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Has there been any talk about maybe doing another show like that with these new Clone Wars or something?
Yeah, I would freaking love to. That was like the most fun job I ever had.
Emma, did you watch the Little Mermaid last night on ABC?
I didn't. I was at Terminator Dark Fate last night, but I have been seeing stuff about it and I clearly need to watch it.
I watched a few clips and I was like, I can't. I can't. What have your thoughts been on like have you seen any of the other ones or?
They have been I remember watching Sound of Music, and when I was watching Sound of Music, once Audra McDonald sang Climb Every Mountain, I went, well, I'm out. That was amazing, and that's all I wanted to see, so bye. Wow. And then, gosh, Peter Pan, what was even going on with that one? Holy moly.
Yeah. I don't think I've seen any of them. I've just watched the clips and been like, oh.
Yeah, Hairspray Live was okay.
Yes, I did watch most of Hairspray.
Yeah, Hairspray Live was pretty fun. And then, what else?
There was Grease.
Grease, I missed. And then, Jesus Christ Superstar was good.
Oh, yeah.
But that was like, but that was more like just them doing Jesus Christ Superstar on a stage.
Yes.
Yeah,
that's what I heard.
Yeah. And I mean, they brought in a powerhouse to play Judas for that. So they were like, good to go.
Yeah. Yeah, they cast well. They get like,
oh yeah. And it was like, Norm Lewis, I think his name is. He was in like Once on This Island on Broadway and, a ton of other stuff. He was like he was so great in Jesus Christ Superstar Live. And it was like so refreshing because everybody else had all these like high tenor voices and he came in with this like really rich, like baritone. And I was like, oh yeah, he's so great. Yeah.
All right. Mike, do you want to start our game then?
Yeah, sure. This is Rapid Fire, a quick thinking game which involves yes or no questions and answer questions.
Okay.
It'll be 3 minutes. I will start the first question and we'll Robin questions, and you think of the answer as quick as you can answering the questions.
Okay.
Harry Potter or Star Wars?
Oh, God. I'm going to say Star Wars at the end of the day.
No.
It's a hard question. That's really hard.
M&M's or Skittles?
Oh, M&M's.
Favorite animated film besides The Lion King?
Oh, Little Mermaid.
Have you ever been in a fight?
Sort of, yeah.
Hang on a second, what?
Wait, hold on, I'm pausing the time. What? Clarify that.
I apparently might have punched somebody in the face on a St. Patrick's Day one time. I thought he was being a jerk to one of my friends, and I was not sober.
That's justifiable.
Yeah, that's okay.
All right.
Yeah, he didn't fight back or anything. He knew he was being a jerk.
Okay, there you go. Perfect.
Are you an early bird or a night owl?
More night owl.
Do you believe in ghosts?
Yes.
Have you been blackout drunk?
Yes.
It's St. Patrick's Day.
On St. Patrick's Day, and then I watched someone.
Pepsi or Coke?
Coke.
Better Chris, Pine, Hemsworth, Pratt, or Evans?
Oh, oh man, that's tough. Oh God, they're all so good. Hey, Hemsworth, because he's funny. I mean, they're all funny, but I love Chris Hemsworth a lot.
Bacon or sex?
Sex.
A night at home or a night out at a party?
I'm like equal parts introvert and extrovert. I'm gonna say party.
Best film trilogy?
I mean Indiana Jones without that one we don't talk about.
Oh. Favorite candle scent?
Candle scent? I have an autumn one that smells like crisp leaves, and that's it.
Okay.
Have you seen a UFO?
No, I don't think so.
Who's funnier when having drinks, Christian or Ellis?
Oh, Ellis. Like, not a hard question.
Spring, summer, fall, or winter?
I'm a fall kind of person.
Of the Collider Live crew, who would you like to punch in the face?
Who would I like to punch in the face? God, sometimes Josh McCouga.
Fair enough.
I love him, but he deserves it, and he knows it.
The most overrated film?
Overrated film. Oh, God. Listen, overrated I don't know is necessarily the word that I would use to describe this. However, people have such a boner for Office Space. And I just, came to that party too late, and I was like, I don't get it. I don't care.
And lastly, cake or pie?
Pie. Yeah.
Yeah,
Feel good
and
about that choice.
there you go. That is Rapid Fire, folks.
Woohoo!
Emma, thank you so much for coming on the show.
Oh, yeah. Thanks for having me. This was great.
It's been a lot of fun. Is there anything you would like to plug?
Well, watch Collider Jedi Council live on Thursdays at 12:30 p.m. Pacific time. I'm also on SJU over at Fandom Entertainment, Screen Junkies Universe at 11 a.m. Pacific time on Fridays. And yeah, I have another thing coming up pretty soon, but it hasn't been announced. So I can't really talk about it just yet. But Grace Hancock is also going to be involved in it. And I'm so excited to have her on board so that's all I'll say.
That's so exciting. Well, you're welcome back here at any time. We would love to have you.
Yeah. I'll have to come back and talk more once we, continue to develop this new iteration of Jedi Council and see where we are, 6 months from today or whatever.
Oh man, what a scary idea, Star Wars.
I know.
Who knows where the fandom will be at that point.
For real though.
Oh, yeah.
Well, on that note, we're going to take a quick promo break. We'll be right back after this.
Hey there, Schmodown fans. This is Josh the Merc Rainer, and I am here to tell you about my show, Talkin' Schmodown. Whether it's Andrew Guy getting hit with a chair, John Roca screaming, "Outlaw!" or the emotional retirement of the Shire Wolves, I talk about it all. So you can catch me right here on Anchor and all the other major podcasting platforms. So, as I ask every episode, are you ready to talk Schmodown? I am.
Hello everybody, Jay Wade
and Kaylin here
to tell you about SEN Afterlive.
It's an after-show podcast where we expand on the week of craziness on SEN Live, as well as have guests on to join in the fun.
Yep, and we get personal too. We do movie reviews, and at times we go way off the rails, which I guarantee is always Kaylin's fault.
Hey, how rude and not true. So, come join us on the Merc with the Movie Blog feed, and remember to rate, share, and subscribe, and as always, enjoy.
Hi everyone, this is Sara, host of Go Get That Rose podcast, a podcast that is dedicated to talking about all things Bachelor Nation. Join Jay Wade, a man in his 40s who is recently new to all things Bachelor Nation, and myself, someone who has been watching passionately for the past 3 years, as we review, share our thoughts on each episode of whatever show is currently on TV, whether that is Bachelor, Bachelorette, or Bachelor in Paradise. We might not even know everyone's names, but we have fun nonetheless. You can find us on Merc with a Movie Blog feed wherever you listen to podcasts.
Hey everybody, Shawn and Wade here to tell you about our new review show following each episode of Disney Plus's The Mandalorian.
Dude, yes, Boba Fett!
Not exactly, Wade. Set in the Star Wars universe, The Mandalorian takes place 5 years after Return of the Jedi and follows a Mandalorian bounty hunter beyond the reaches of the New Republic.
Yeah, Boba Fett.
Did you even watch Return of the Jedi? Never mind. Join us here every week on the Merc with the Movie Blog feed. Thank God Kaylin will be here too. I don't think I can handle Wade on my own.
And we are back from break. I hope you check out those shows. I don't know. Anyway, so on the other side of the break, happy Blade Runner month.
Blade Mother.
We're off to a great start. Second half of the show. Oh my gosh, guys, it's been rough. Happy Blade Runner month. Have any of us actually seen Blade Runner? I'm going to say Shawn has not seen it.
I've not seen Blade Runner. I'm going to say Sara has also not seen Blade Runner.
I see, that was my question. See, I'm guilty. That was my thing. So I knew Dorina was going to talk about this month because it's Blade Runner month, and I've seen it, and I've seen the sequel, so I'm all good on that front.
Which one did you like better?
I mean, Ryan Gosling is in one, so I feel like that is...
yeah. I feel like that elevates it.
Yeah.
And it's also Denis Villeneuve doing the sequel, and he does great cinematography with his cinematographer, and it's got great looks, and the story was decent. I mean, it's a long movie, but it was good.
So which one did you like better?
2049. 2049, okay?
How long is 2049? I'm looking it up.
Isn't it like almost 3 hours?
Holy crap, it's 2 hours and 44 minutes.
Yeah. That's why I didn't.
Jared Leto in it, right?
Yep.
Really? Huh.
Yeah,
it feels like 2 hours and 44 minutes.
What?
You know what movie feels like 2 hours and 44 minutes?
Attack of the Clones.
Attack of the Clones feels like 17 hours long.
My favorite Star Wars movie.
That movie is like 130 hours long, Sara. I don't understand.
Anyway. speaking of Dorina, this was our first full week of Roxy and Dorina Live, or Vagina Live. Is that what they were calling it at some point?
It was all over the place.
It was. Oh, how did you feel about this week?
I loved it. I thought this week was great. Roxy is a natural host. I do think Roxy way overpowered Dorina.
Oh yeah.
Hosting wise, I don't.
Not that that's like an insult or anything.
No, I was not.
She has a stronger like hosting feel.
Yeah, I mean she's more used to it. She does it on a bunch of other shows. So like yeah, she's used to it. I thought it went great. I thought that they did great with the interviews. I thought that Roxy in particular is awesome at keeping the conversation moving and not getting too far out in the wild. I think there were a couple moments where it was like, okay, that you could have been a bit more tactful about that. But I think for the most part, it was very smooth. It was very well done. I really enjoyed this week of Collide Live.
What about you, Mike?
It was really good. The transition was smooth. The hosting, stellar. Great. They brought great content for the week, especially with the calls, and eventually later on, I want to ask if you guys catch this, but they were talking about how Mighty Ducks. I don't know if you guys saw Mighty Ducks, the movie.
Nope.
Never seen Mighty Ducks.
So it's coming to it's coming Ducks. It's coming to Disney Plus eventually, but they end up adapting the Quack, to like the calls. Like
that's what I was.
Cody would play the Quack, and that was like quack, and Roxy calls us the Quackers. So it was just like there might be a new thing for us for Collider Live. Who knows? We'll see how that goes.
I don't know if I like that.
I hope not.
I don't want to be called a quacker.
Never mind.
That sounds dangerously close to something else.
Yeah, wait a minute.
I mean, Dorina wouldn't mind that though.
Let's think that.
I don't think anybody would really mind it, to be honest.
But no,
probably not was a great start.
No, it was great. It was awesome. I enjoyed it. I'm glad they did well.
What about you,
Sarah? It was a lot of fun. I am kind of curious now to see what the dynamic's going to be without Josh, because I feel like Josh really throws in like the kind of craziness. I mean that in the most positive way. I love Josh. I think he brings a whole different kind of energy. So it's going to be really interesting to kind of see if they're going to bring someone in to be that fourth spot, or if it's just going to be Riley, Roxy, Dorina. I don't know, but I really like today's vibe with like what Roca and Riley and Dorina as well. So
Roca made me want to slam my head against the table a couple times today, but that's okay.
I mean, it's fine. But speaking of Riley, in the beginning of the week, they were talking about music, and Riley dropped that he was in a cover band that was called the Mad Tea Party, which is a great name, actually.
Yes.
If we could have cover bands, what would they be called? Go ahead, Mike. You go first.
Me?
You're the one that was saying that you had one.
I could think of one on the fly. I told you guys. I could think of one on the fly, but I'm like looking through my music catalog and I'm just like, what's a good like fake name for a band I can just come up with? Like a parody of something. I don't fucking know.
What about you, Shawn? Do you have one?
The Star Potters.
What? The Star Killer bass guitars?
The Star Potter Rangers. There you go. Star Wars, Harry Potter, and Power Rangers all in one. The Star Potter Rangers. And we'd only sing songs that have some sort of connection to Star Wars, Power Rangers, or Harry Potter.
Wow, so no songs.
There are some Power Rangers songs. There are some Power Rangers songs. And Star Wars, anything to do with space. Okay? And Harry Potter, anything to do with magic. Or there's also roll around like a hairy troll. no, rock
The
and
song
roll. You know?
from the,
Yeah. Yeah, like a hippogriff.
Yeah.
You know that one? Yeah.
Yeah.
That's our first single. Is
Man, I'm booking.
hippogriff.
I'm booking this band for my party. No, not at all.
God damn it!
Boom! I nailed it.
You did.
That was so good. All
You
right,
did.
back it up.
I'm jealous. Damn it, Shawn! You're
Wait, what's the Collider live theme? All right, we're done.
All right, moving on. I don't have one. I'm doing the Roxy rule. I'm not making up one. I don't have one.
Just do a jizz band.
The jizz. I was
jazz.
thinking of like Death Cab for Cutie, but like changing the word cab to like any other Death Bus for Cutie or something, and just
That's
being.
that's a whole nother thing. The Death Bus.
Yeah, Death Bus. The Night Bus for Cutie. There we go.
Okay, I like that.
It's a Harry Potter theme.
Yeah.
Anyway, Mike, do you have one? Do you want to move on?
I was gonna say Crazy Antelope for Tame Impala.
Okay. All right.
It's like the opposite of Tame, and the Impala's antelope. It's like crazy antelope.
I like it. You put some thought into that one.
What? I didn't?
No. I don't know. Second follow-up question. Do we have any guilty pleasure bands or musicians, since they were talking about, oh my god, what's that band called? Sugar Ray. Since they were talking about Sugar Ray.
There you go.
I have a
Which
question.
is mine. I love Sugar Ray so much.
I've not listened to any Sugar Ray.
Oh
I said
my
I was
God.
going to, but I didn't.
Oh my God.
I have a question. For guilty pleasure bands, do you need to know, that they're bad, or like, could you think that they're actually good? Like, if you think a band is
feel like-
actually good, is that a guilty pleasure?
No. I don't know.
I have
Maybe.
two answers depending
Are you
on.
embarrassed to tell people what the band
Not
is?
really, because I think they're actually a good band.
Do other people think they're a good band? Like, I feel like Nickelback.
Maybe my age.
Is it
I
Nickelback?
actually, no, it's not. I kind of like Nickelback. The Jonas Brothers. I think the Jonas Brothers are actually good.
I think the Jonas Brothers are good too. I don't think that's a
Yeah.
guilty pleasure.
Yeah, I think it's just mine. Okay, then guilty pleasure for musicians and stuff. I watched Glee for way too long.
Oh, yo, me too.
I watched Glee way too long is the entire show. So that is most 100%
Wow.
my guilty
Wow.
pleasure. Yeah, I stuck
Oh.
it through. That was
I'll
a
be honest.
mistake.
I like some of the covers better than some original covers.
Anything Darren Criss did was great.
Oh, yes.
But like some of the stuff was woof. What was the catchphrase this week? Wash.
Wash.
Some of the covers were wash. Yeah.
Yeah.
Watch.
Oh. What about you, Mike? Do you have any guilty pleasure artists? Band?
I was. Can I just say a guilty pleasure decade? Because there's a decade of music that I listen to.
The
And
1870s.
Yes, the 1870s. Fine music, I say, young Shawn.
The harpsichord. And
What was it? What was
The
it that guy
organ.
said? The Back to the Future guy said. It's like I like contemporary music. Thing.
Oh, yeah. Crispin Glover.
Crispin Glover, anything before the 1900s.
Oh, yeah, that's right, Crispin Glover, yep.
That's Mike.
The 90s? My god, the 90s. Like, 90s pop,
Oh
like,
my
maybe
God.
like,
I
90s
love
pop.
Great, though.
these.
What about
There's some.
90s punk rock?
Yes, that's the
Yeah.
best.
Yes,
That's my
That's-
favorite genre.
that's a good genre, too. Like,
There are some 90s songs that's like, or early 2000s that's like, ooh,
very much a guilty pleasure.
Wash.
ooh, wash.
Wash. Woof. No, yeah.
Hmm.
Like, I think of, like, Sublime is a really good band. There's, like,
yeah.
Two Princes, which is a very underrated band.
Yeah.
I could talk about anything 90s and 80s music all day long, and I can just, like, gush. But this is here or there right now.
True. I still think it's probably better than some of today's music, though.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah. Okay. Cool. I thought that was
All right.
gonna be like a crazy.
Okay, boomer, whatever.
Oh, you did not just say that! Oh my god!
Okay. Well,
no, I don't disagree.
All
I'm
right,
kidding.
good.
Oh my god.
And I love me some Sugar Ray. I was very glad they brought up Sugar Ray. Shawn, you should. I mean, I'm not going to say you must because they're all right, but I love them. So.
Have you guys listened to Limp Bizkit?
No.
They talked about that later in the week too.
Yes.
Remember what?
I feel like Limp Bizkit was like after or before me. Was before my time.
I don't think. Yeah, I
or
don't.
during my
recognize,
time. I don't know.
I don't recognize any of these songs. I'm looking through Limp Bizkit. I don't. Why did they do a song with Lil Wayne? I don't like that. Oh God!
Oh God!
What is this? Yikes! Oh, that's terrifying.
Okay, well, moving on. Talking about biscuits. Oh, we're gonna talk about Popeye's chicken sandwich.
That's a good segue.
Perfect.
Thank you.
Perfect.
So this ties in. Josh went and I think it was yesterday or not yesterday, the other day, waited in line to get the Popeye chicken sandwich, which is back. And he said it was fantastic. Mark Riley said it was great. There was a whole debate about the sauce, which I thought was hilarious, where Roxy was like, I'm not going to eat it if it's mayo based, which I completely understand. Mayonnaise is disgusting. I'm in their corner. And Shawn, you've actually had this chicken sandwich.
No. Josh has had the chicken
Oh.
sandwich.
Our producer, Josh.
Has
Our
anyone-
Josh.
I wanted to know if any of you did.
No.
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 All right, well,
I said in the
fucking
chat
scrap
that
it.
I was gonna say no.
Throw it
I
out.
don't have a Popeyes or Chick-fil-A by me.
That's right, you did say that.
So I have a Popeyes real close to my work, and I get Popeyes for lunch sometimes. So I will go there this week and get a chicken sandwich and report back next week.
Okay, I'll do that too, because I think I have one near me now. But
Good luck.
Yeah, so we will.
Good luck.
Yeah, good. Yeah, I don't
Long
know if I have
lines.
the time.
More? Be careful in that Popeyes. You never know. You never know what's going to be in there.
Just
you know?
kidding. I'll just go to Chick-fil-A and just say, I got it. It's the same thing. It's fine. It's literally the same sandwich. So.
You're gonna get attacked by actual chickens if you go to Popeyes. It's a war zone in there. I'm telling you.
Well, okay. Well, that was anticlimactic. None of us have actually had the sandwich.
I'm really disappointed in both of you.
Really.
Oh, don't blame me.
Okay. Yeah, Mike, how dare you not have a Popeyes or Chick-fil-A near you,
Don't
okay?
blame Wisconsin. Blame Wisconsin on that part, okay?
How rude. Well, okay, anyway. So we had a few interviews this week on the show. Roland Emmerich, I did say that right?
Yeah, you did.
He was on there promoting Midway.
Yep.
Mike posed the question if we knew who he was, which I was a little offended by that question. I'm not going to lie. I know who Roland Emmerich is.
Okay, because you haven't seen a lot of films. I assume that you don't know who Roland Emmerich is.
I know who he is.
I've only seen one of his movies and it was fucking terrible. It was awful.
Which one?
2012. Holy shit, that movie's
Oh, okay.
Oh, I have seen 2012.
That movie's so bad. Roland Emmerich is. That was a really, really cool interview. I don't like his movie.
It was good.
Did you did that one, this one came out, right? Midway?
No, I'm
Yes.
gonna go see it because of what people are saying about it, but I don't have a whole lot of faith.
Me neither.
I'm much
It's a
more
war film.
interested in 1917, which is coming out, which is another war film. That's being done by, what's his name?
Sam Mendes, yep.
Yeah.
So I'm much more interested, if we're going on war films, I'm much more interested in 1917 than I am Midway, but I'll see it, I guess.
Midway has a really good cast, though. Like, it's
Who's in it?
Name
them. Come on.
Hey, so be prepared.
From memory. Darren Criss, I know, is in it. Nick Jonas is in it.
Patrick Wilson.
Yeah, go ahead.
Woody Harrelson, Ed Skrein from Deadpool, Dennis Quaid, Mandy Moore. Wait, you said Darren Criss? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a good cast.
I'll have to go see it just for Darren Criss. Aaron Eckhart. Okay. I'm gonna go see that fucking Christmas movie this weekend with my mom.
Last Christmas?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I really want to see it.
Roca and
Because of their
Roxy
reviews.
talked about that.
It
Yeah.
was terrible, but I love
I know. Well, I know there's. Crap! I don't want to spoil. Never mind.
Don't say anything. Fuck off.
Okay, I won't say anything, but I want to see it because I have theories about this movie, and I want to know if I'm right or not.
Mike, what do you think about Midway?
Sorry. Anyway,
no, I took us off track. It's my fault.
It's fine.
It looks fine.
Yeah.
Well, okay, moving on. Not our favorite director. I'm sure he's a nice guy.
No, Roland Emmerich is one of my favorite
he is
directors.
one of your favorite directors?
No.
It was a good interview, and the dude seems like a solid dude. Like, there are a bunch of people that I really like. I don't like any of his movies.
I've never seen any of his movies, so I can't really say anything. But he does seem like he cares about what he does. Like,
yes. Independence Day? Come on, Independence Day?
I've never seen Independence Day.
Me
it sounds
neither.
overrated.
Oh my god.
I want to.
I have zero interest.
Jane Seymour was also this week.
Did anyone know who she was?
I had no idea who she was.
No.
Oh my god. To be fair, I only knew who she was because she was in one episode of How I Met Your Mother, and that's my favorite TV
Wait, she
show.
was in an episode of How I Met Your Mother?
Yeah, she's the cougar that Barney tries to sleep with.
She is?
Yes!
Oh, I love her. I'm going through her filmography right now. I don't think I've seen a single movie that she's in.
So that's the only thing I know her from, but I love this interview. Like,
I thought Dr. Quinn Medicine. You're right, Professor Lewis, Aldrin Just. Yep, that's
yes.
Right.
Great episode, people.
I've not seen her in anything else but that.
I've heard of Dr. Quinn Medicine Woman. I've just never
heard
watched
it.
I can't tell you what it's about.
Well,
but her interview was great, so I loved it.
It was a great interview.
I was very interested.
It's about Jane Seymour, who plays Dr. Quinn.
Oh, is she a medicine woman?
She is a medicine woman. It is during the Vietnam War. It crossed over with MASH at one point.
Oh, have you guys seen that?
I have seen episodes of MASH. It crossed over with MASH, and little do people know, a young Darren Criss appeared in the show.
Nuh-uh.
It was actually, there were a couple episodes directed by Roland Emmerich.
Nuh-uh.
Yeah. It was weird. It was a lot of,
I don't believe you.
It was a lot.
Okay, moving on. Our last guest on the show this week was on today's show promoting Jawin's comic drive for service members and their new comic books, right? Comic series?
The new comic series called Science. And as she was pitching the book, I swear to you both, by the time the pitch was finished, I had purchased Science, the Elements of Dark Energy on Comixology.
Really?
So I own it now. I did not get a chance to read it. I wanted to. It's only about 100 pages, so I'm going to try to get through it and read it. But the pitch alone, when she was talking about like going to Hogwarts, but like
it sounds awesome.
The AI of her father, and I was like, this is the fucking coolest thing I've ever heard. So by the end of her pitch, I was on Comixology buying the first volume that they released. So I'm going to read that. That sounds really cool.
Have we read anything that they've written?
No.
Ashley
No.
and Jason?
No. I want to check out Jupiter Jet, but Jupiter Jet didn't grab me when they pitched it last time like this one did. But they're talking about doing a second volume, so I'll probably check out the first one.
No, I really like her. I like her and Jason. I'm forgetting names a lot. She's on the Game of Thrones podcast that Collider does.
Throne.
Yeah, and I think she like brings a really interesting like perspective to things. So I like her, and I love their pitch. I'm interested. You have to let me know how it is.
Is What the Throne still a thing?
Yep, still going.
Really?
Yeah.
Why? Why?
Every once in a while, I like it.
No, I mean, I'm sure they're great, but like...
Ken still does Casterly Talk once a week, too. His Game of Thrones podcast, so... This is not a plug for their shows, don't...
It can be! What do you mean, don't? You don't want them to go... Alright, that's it.
Okay, so we have some entertainment news moving on. Me and Shawn are super excited about this.
Yep, I'm out of here. See ya.
Okay, bye, Mike.
Bye, Mike. We'll talk about Power Rangers later too.
Oh my gosh. Fantastic Beasts 3 has officially been given the green light. I don't know how I feel. Yeah, took way too long. Are you really? You're genuinely excited?
Genuinely, because I love the second one. I like the second one more than the first one.
I can't believe that. I mean,
because
I guess I can.
It's what I want from this series, which is the Grindelwald and Dumbledore stuff. Like, I like Eddie Redmayne in the role as Commander, but like, I don't care about him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
I completely.
It's like Poe in the Star Wars movies. I like Oscar Isaac as Poe. He was supposed to die in The Force Awakens, and
was he really?
Yeah, no. Oscar Isaac was like, "Hey, can I keep playing the character?" They were like, "Oh, yeah, sure. We'll keep him around." Like, that's why when people are like, the trinity of the sequels are Finn, Rey, and Poe, I'm like, no, it's not, because Poe is supposed to die. It's Finn, Rey, and Kylo.
Yeah.
But completely off topic, I loved the second one. I loved Johnny Depp as Grindelwald. I'm so happy. In that same report, they said that he was coming back to play him again.
Okay.
They said we're going to get some more hot Dumbledore and more Hogwarts stuff. Yes. I hope we get flashbacks to, all the stuff with Ariana, Dumbledore, and Aberforth and Albus, and like, I want to see that whole time period with. Yeah.
That'd be great.
With those three in Grindelwald. No, and that's like, because I'm going to be honest,
I don't. They're younger for that.
Yeah, I mean, they've got actors. They could bring back the actors. They brought the actors back for this movie. Or for the last one. The actors who played young Grindelwald and young Dumbledore appeared in Crimes of Grindelwald, didn't they?
Yeah.
And it was the same people from Deathly Hallows.
Yeah, Jamie Bauer, Campbell. And I don't know who played Dumbledore, but.
But also, like, because they said originally they're going to do 5. If they're doing 5, maybe we'll get one fight with present day Dumbledore and Grindelwald at the end of this, but I really don't think so. I don't think they're going to meet. So. I don't think they're going to meet until 5.
Oh, no. Yeah.
They might meet in the 4th one. I don't think they're going to fight until the 5th movie. And it'll end with the duel in 1945.
Okay.
Like the big duel that they always talk about, and they reference Dumbledore beat Grindelwald in 1945. Like, I don't think Grindelwald and Dumbledore will actually fight until the 5th movie at the end of it, and that will be the movie's end. So I think because of that, they're gonna I think they're gonna want to work on the Dumbledore and Grindelwald relationship, but I don't think they want them to meet until the 4th movie, and they don't want them to fight until the 5th. So I think we're gonna get a lot of flashbacks to them as kids in this one. I think this one's gonna be Dumbledore trying to break the blood pact that we saw in the second one, so that he can
dumb.
So that he can fight. I love the idea of the blood pact.
Dumb.
I love
the idea too. I've never seen it before, and that's why I'm just like.
Yeah, but like, I think that's kind of a lame excuse, because like, we never saw Dementors until the 3rd book. Like, just because you haven't seen something before doesn't mean,
okay. Yeah.
You know, like, and I think there was a theory being thrown around that the reason that Ariana died was because they fought when they had the blood pact. And it caused, like, because the whole thing with that has always been, it was Albus, Aberforth, and Grindelwald all fighting, and nobody knows who cast the spell that killed Ariana. Yeah. And I love the idea that it wasn't really any of them. It was, like, they tried to kill each other when they had the blood pact, and something rebounded or something, and it killed Ariana. So I think we're gonna get all that in the 3rd one. I think this one's gonna really dive into Dumbledore's backstory, and then they'll finally meet in 4 and fight in 5. But yeah, I'm really excited for this. I love the Fantastic Beasts movies. I love the second one more than the first one. Wow. Steve Kloves coming back is probably a good thing.
Yeah, that's the only thing that keeps me hopeful, is that she'll be writing with someone who's familiar with this world.
And it should be noted, Steve Kloves was a producer on 1 and 2, so he was involved. I would guess that he was involved with helping her with the story of 1 and 2, but I think he's going to be doing enough writing on this 3rd one that they have to give him a screen. Because if they're giving him a screenplay credit, that means that he's doing much more on this movie than he did in 1 and 2. Because they have to. So I'm really excited for this.
Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna see it. Like, I'm not gonna not see it. Like, I'm gonna see it. I wouldn't say I'm excited, but I mean, I love Harry Potter. I love this world. I was definitely disappointed with the second one. I don't know. To me, it just felt, the screenplay really just felt very sloppy, and I was very confused, and I love this world, and I've read the books, and I still was very confused. Like, just as far as what are these spells that they're saying, or what are they, you know what I mean? I was just this is confusing. But I would say my favorite part of the movie is Hot Dumbledore. I mean, Jude Law is perfect casting, and I loved being back at Hogwarts, and I loved seeing him as a professor. So if we get more of that, you sold me, I'm in, which is exactly what they're trying to do. They're trying to get the hardcore fans to come back. You love Dumbledore, well, he's back. And even more than before. That's just what it feels like. But
one last prediction. It'll either be this movie, or if not in 3, definitely in 4, we're getting Tom Riddle. Because the last one took place a year after he was born. Okay. So, and there was a 15-year gap or something in between the first and second movie. So, if they there was a massive gap in between 1 and 2.
Oh, I would have never been able to tell.
If they do another massive gap, then
we'll be seeing.
Oh, it's not. No. I'm an idiot. It doesn't take place that long. I misread the.
I was
I misread it way bad. It only takes place a year after.
Okay.
I was reading, it said 16 takes place a year after the first movie's events, but it was saying that the movie came out on November 16th. Anyways, I'm an idiot. Don't listen to anything I say.
Okay.
All right. But it takes place, they did a time jump. I think they'll do another time jump because it has to end in 1945. So we're in 1927 right now, so they got to get moving to get to 45 by the 5th movie. So I do think.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think either this movie or the next one, Tom Riddle.
Do you think we're going to be keeping with the core 4 people in all these movies?
Yes.
Ugh.
Yes. Well,
or
it's
at least one of them. Do you think Newt is going to be the one that we are following in all of these movies?
Yeah. I don't think Newt's going anywhere. Maybe Kowalski could die at some point. I think that would actually probably be a pretty good moment. Actually, I think the best, if I were writing it, when Queenie, because Queenie's eventually, we all know she's going to switch. I don't think they're going to leave her on Grindelwald's side.
No, she's coming back. That's the stupidest thing.
Kill Kowalski, and that could be what brings Queenie back to. Yeah, and I think Queenie is going to be our key into Grindelwald. I think they're going to spend a whole lot of time together in 3 so that they can focus on her, but really be focusing on Grindelwald.
Yeah.
Because I don't think she's staying on the bad side, but I do think they're going to narrow down the cast a bit. And I think killing Kowalski could be I think it could be a good moment. And I think it could also be a good trigger to bring, Queenie back to the light.
Yeah. Well, we'll see.
What about it being set in Brazil, though? Real quick, sorry, because we didn't touch on.
No, go ahead.
They did. I like that. I like that they're hopping all over the world. I think that's cool.
And I think someone did say that they will be introducing the American school.
Teachers.
Yeah, one of the teachers from there
is going to be a main character in this one, isn't it?
Yeah, I think that's what I heard, which I'm very interested in. I wished that this set of movies, we saw the school, which I get people would compare it to Harry Potter and Hogwarts, so you can't really do that, but
yeah, I definitely would have rather had that. I've accepted what we have. I would have 100% rather had my thing that I wanted when Harry Potter ended was I wanted the Marauders.
Yeah.
That's
I
don't really.
Everyone does.
Yeah, Cursed Child kind of ruined anything past Harry Potter, past Harry's.
I don't want to see the future.
I they were talking about. I think this week they were like, Cursed Child's going to be made into a movie eventually, right? And they were all excited about that. It's hey guys, as somebody who's read Cursed Child, don't be so excited.
Don't be excited. It's not.
No, you don't.
Unless you love it. people, but no, I haven't met one Harry Potter fan that actually likes the curse track.
I'm not sure there's anything in there that I really.
No, there's nothing. I haven't finished it.
I read it. I read it all in one sitting, and I sat in a chair the day I got it, and I read the entire thing until it was done.
My God.
And I just, there's a lot of things I don't like about it. I should reread it eventually to see if there's anything that I do like about it, because all I can remember are the bad things, but like.
I just read it recently, and I honestly can't tell you anything. I mean, I didn't finish it, but I got to enough.
All I can think about is Harry being a terrible father, the trolley witch being a beast, and Voldemort fucking Bellatrix. Like, those are the only things I can think of. Who fucking cares? It's such bullshit, it doesn't even matter.
Yeah, that makes that, anyway.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it eventually. I promise.
Stay tuned.
Sure. Stay tuned. Stay tuned for the future.
Yeah, Brazil sounds cool. Anyways, sorry.
I don't know. I wish it just took place in one place. Like,
but that's like,
I don't know.
I
get
guess
it makes sense with Newt because he's hunting. Like this whole thing they have, he's hunting the creature. So like it makes sense. Like why we're in Brazil because he's looking for magical creatures. But I'm just like,
which is the part I hate the most about these is the magical creature stuff. Like.
It's so forced at this point. Like it's so random. It's like
I've accepted that's what we're doing, which is why, like, when I talk about this, I say I'm excited about going to Brazil. I'm not really excited about going to Brazil,
like,
but like we're going somewhere. Like that is what these movies are going to do. I've accepted that we're not going to stay in the same place. So if we're going to go somewhere, Brazil is a cool place. I think it's a good choice.
Seen it in the world,
like
or whatever.
So a lot of my excitement with these movies is I've accepted what it is, which it's not what I wanted. I wanted more like child fantasy stuff, but
yes,
we're doing a war series at this point.
Yeah.
And since that's what we have, I think that's like what they set out to do. I think they're doing a good job. I'm in the minority. I'm aware of that. I really wish that it hadn't been new. I wish we had just like picked up with double
or that was like one story and then we move on to new characters.
Yeah.
Like that's what I want. Like I just
when are we getting a Quidditch movie?
You know what? I pitched that.
Yeah.
I pitched that.
A Quidditch movie in the style of like Root.
Yes.
That'd be awesome. Yeah, I want to see the Quidditch World Cup and like all that stuff.
Yeah.
That's the
thing.
I would watch
after a minute in Goblet of Fire. Like,
yeah. I was so excited to watch that and I was like, are you kidding me? Like,
and then we just got straight to the Nazi stuff and I was like, I kind of wanted to see the football game first. I mean, the Nazi stuff is cool too, but like I wanted to
give me the football, not the Nazis.
There is some serious like Goblet of Fire is super Nazi. Like they toned it down in 5 going.
Oh my god. I love Goblet of Fire. It's my favorite.
I love Goblet of Fire too, but like the tiki torches like stomping through I kind of wish they'd gone farther where like in the book like they're torturing the muggles, like they're raising them up in the air and like spinning them around and stuff.
Oh yeah, it's crazy.
It's crazy dark. I kind of wish they'd shown some of that, but I get that it's still a children's movie, so they're not going to.
Yeah, they're not going to do that.
Anyways, we're so off topic. I'm sorry.
Well, I'm sure there'll be more news about Fantastic Beasts as we get closer.
Of course.
To that 2021 November release. As
so far away.
So far away.
I really wish they'd gotten, cause like there was all that stuff with the Flash and Ezra Miller, and I guess what I got from this, the other thing I got from this is that Flash movie's not happening anytime soon. If they're like, fuck it, let's go ahead with Fantastic Beasts 3, that means that Ezra Miller is very free. So I wish that it was coming out next year. I wish they hadn't gotten, it's the same thing that like Disney has done with Star Wars where they get cold feet. And it's like, I really wish that they hadn't done it. I really wish they hadn't gotten cold feet with Fantastic Beasts and pushed it back.
Yeah.
I wish they'd, I don't know. I know you don't, like, it's just because I like the last one is why I say that. Cause I like it too. So I'm like,
I get why because I feel like a lot of people are like, what is this?
The Rotten Tomatoes score does not support my statement, but
yes.
My own personal opinion is I wish they hadn't waited. But I know that for the future of the series, it was probably the best call.
Yeah, probably. But, okay, so James Dean, guys. He's coming back as a CGI in upcoming film. He's currently dead. This is going to be great. First of all, how do we feel about this? Like, how do we feel about him coming back to be a supporting actor or supporting role in this movie?
First off, do you know who he is?
I know who James Dean is. Fuck off, Mike. Also, second question, have any of us actually seen a James Dean movie?
No.
Yes.
But I know.
Oh, get the fuck out of here, Mike. Whatever. Just go away. Do you watch anything from the 2000s?
Sean, can you name a James Dean movie?
Rebel Without a Cause.
Oh.
That's it. East of Eden. East of Eden and Rebel Without a Cause. That's all I can think of. But like, Mike, do you watch anything from present day, or do you?
Yes.
Are you Crispin Glover or whatever? It's fucking.
No, I watch present day films. Shut up.
You sure?
Yes.
You positive?
I'm positive.
Oh, he died at 24. Oh my god.
Yes.
Yeah, it was really sad, and now we're fucking dragging his corpse back up to do. This is whack. This is crazy.
You think so? I think it's just,
I think it's interesting.
It's weird.
I think it's
weird.
I think it's one thing if it was because they were like, hey, we want to use his character again.
Yeah.
Like if they were like, we're gonna make a sequel to Rebel Without a Cause. I don't know what that movie's about. But if they were like, we're gonna do a sequel to that, I know. But if they were like, we're gonna do a sequel to this movie and we want James Dean's character back, so we're just gonna bring him back through CGI. That makes more sense to me.
Yeah.
But like Tarkin in Rogue One or Leia in Rogue One as well. Leia at the end is CGI. But
it looks awful. Sorry. I just had to I'm sorry.
It looked worse than Tarkin's. I still think it didn't look as bad as the CGI in the prequels, but it still looked pretty bad.
Anyway.
But like, I think I'd be more down with it if it was a returning character. It just feels weird that they were like, we searched everywhere, and the only person we could find was a dead dude. Like, he's not even going to be acting. You're just using his likeness. There's got to be somebody else in the world that looks like James Dean. It doesn't make sense.
I've seen a bunch of articles that say that. It's like, here's a list of people that look like and act like James Dean that they can cast in, but it's just like, I can understand the filmmakers and the family estate they're coming from. It's just like,
family estate is probably fine with it. They're like, you're gonna pay us to use his image? Yeah, fuck you, sure. I'm sure they don't give a shit. But like,
it's not like a backlash or a marketing gimmick. It's just like,
No, I think it's 100% a marketing gimmick.
No, I've read articles and they said we didn't mean it to be a marketing gimmick.
Bullshit.
Period.
I don't believe that for a second.
Yeah, me either.
Name one good reason that James Dean has to be in this movie. Why? What? Like, you don't actually have him performing. Like, it's not him. It's just his likeness. There's a million people probably that look like James Dean that you could have just like. I think it's 100% a marketing gimmick. This sounds like complete bullshit to me. I'm not mad at them for doing it. Whatever. I just think it's weird. I think it's like, I don't see any justification for it. And I think if they're like obviously they have to say that it's not a marketing gimmick because they can't say that it is a marketing gimmick. Yeah. But like, it's still bullshit. It's like Ewan McGregor lying about not playing Obi-Wan for 4 years. It's bullshit no matter which way you spin it, but like, it's what they have to do. It's their job to lie.
With the director, he did a casting call. He looked for everybody, auditioned everybody, and they didn't have the same feel as they thought with James Dean, because they thought James Dean would fit the role more better for his film.
But that doesn't track at all for me, because it's not a performance. You're not getting James Dean's performance. You're getting a face. You're doing CGI. You're doing the performance with the editing and the CGI. You're not. It is all about what he looks like and what he sounds like.
Yeah,
it's literally the entire reason. And there's a million
nobody's like that. Nobody's like that.
Disagree heavily. There's 6 billion people, 7 billion people on this planet, and there's not a single person that's like James Dean. I mean, maybe they really couldn't find anybody with their casting call, but then if they really couldn't find anybody, I don't think they looked hard enough. And they weren't willing to compromise at all. I don't know. Like, I'm not mad at them. Like, I just think, like, call it what it is, which they were like, we want to use CGI to have James Dean in this movie because it'll be talked about. Like I think 100% it's a marketing gimmick. I'm sorry. I don't know. I don't know why I got so heated about that. I wasn't heated at all when they were talking. Like seriously, when they were talking about it this week, I didn't give a shit. But like just now, it all came out. I don't know what that was.
It just all came out. I mean,
it just all came out.
Because Roka talked about it, and he was like, "Yep, I'm all for it." And it's like, "Fuck yeah, Roka, hell yeah."
I'm for it. I don't care that they're doing it. I just think it's bullshit to be like there was nobody else. Yeah. There was somebody else. They just didn't want to do that.
But so, doing the same thing for another movie with a different director, who would you want them to bring back from the dead to do another film?
Marilyn Monroe, come back, baby.
I don't know. I don't really think
that's why I asked.
No, I think it's a good. I think it's a good question. No. Because again, I don't think you're getting those performances.
Yeah.
Well, I understand that. I mean, but it's just like.
No, I think it's a good question.
It's just something to think about. Like, who would you want to bring back in a film? Like their likeness and CGI and having interact with current actors.
I'll say the most that I'm not willing to accept, but that I'd like is what they're doing with Carrie Fisher for episode 9. Reusing old footage to bring her back. It's not the same thing at all as what they're doing with James Dean, but like that's the extent. Because like I don't really care. You could bring anybody back with CGI, but I wouldn't be excited about it. But like if you tell me that you're using old footage to bring back Carrie Fisher, that's what I'm excited about. That gets me excited because it is her performance we're getting. You know, it's
all
her.
about the performance.
Yeah, I don't really care about the
into. Yeah, I guess that makes sense. If you're watching a movie, you got to watch for the performance more than anything else.
Yeah, I don't hold it against it.
I'm intrigued because this film's a Vietnam War film and it's about dogs, and I'm just kind of curious how it plays out.
Dogs?
Yeah.
Oh,
yeah. That's so much more interesting.
I'm in.
Yep.
I'm in, baby.
I think the technology's exciting.
It's gonna be dogs.
Yeah, it's the technology because they're so excited about. There's like this company, I think it was like South Africa they're companying with that's doing the CGI, and they're just like they're excited to like work with the technology and make it work. I'm intrigued at least, but I'm just like everyone's up in roar about it. It's like so he died at 24 in a car accident at 55, but it's just like he was a cool guy, and his likeness would be interesting to see to bloom in a film somehow. I mean, and they said they're going to have like a voice actor to like kind of mimic his voice. So it would be a performance from the person who's voicing him, but still.
I mean, it does. I guess it doesn't make me more excited. It doesn't but it doesn't make me less excited. It's just like, okay, I guess you're going to do that. The technology's cool. It's weird. I think it's weird that you're doing that, but go for it.
It's experimental.
Yeah, I do like that it's experimental. It's like, fucking, who's the guy who's filming all his movies on iPhones right now? Steven Soderbergh?
Yes.
It's like, I really hope that he stops soon, but it was cool, dude. We're done. Use a camera, please. But, I mean, although, is he the one that's doing that, A Hidden Life that comes out later this year?
No idea.
I have no idea.
No, that's Terrence Malick. Just kidding.
Oh, Terrence Malick. Yeah, okay.
But anything else on James Dean before we move on?
At least we're not talking about the Joker box office, the Snyder Cut, and Martin Scorsese.
Alright, you want to know what I think about the Joker box office?
Wait, let's set this up. Shawn is tired about hearing about Joker's box office, the Snyder Cut, and Martin Scorsese. What are you guys tired about hearing?
I'm tired about hearing about Joker's box office, the Snyder Cut, and Martin fucking tell you. Okay, listen. The Joker box office, everybody, look, made $1 billion. It's the most profitable superhero film of all time. Look, that's great. I'm happy for WB. The movie's deceptively good. It's very visually and everything is surface level. It's the plot blows, but
wow.
Yeah, no. The further away I get from that film, the more I hate the writing. But the performances are great, soundtrack's great, visually impressive, everything's great except for the writing. But anyways, the point is, it's going to make $1 billion. This is not the win everybody thinks it is. Everybody's going, yes, the low to mid tier budget films are being championed right now. No, that's not what this is. What this is it's saying that if you put a popular IP onto anything, it will make money. This is not going to lead to more Booksmarts being made or to more Jojo Rabbits being made. No. This is going to lead to more movies like Booksmart and Jojo Rabbit, but it's about a comic book character or a franchise character. That's not like everybody cheering and saying that this is going to original films are coming. No, that's not what's going to happen.
That? I don't see anyone
I see everybody saying that.
Really?
I see everybody online being like, this shows that Hollywood that you can make original films. And all this shows
is not an original film though. It's an IP.
Which is why everybody also being like, wow, it's so impressive that this original film is making so much money. It's like, it's the fucking Joker. What?
Yeah.
Look, I never thought it was going to make $1 billion. But like, this making, sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry.
No, it's fine. I was going to say,
rant.
Well, no, this making $1 billion makes way more sense than Venom making like 800 million last year. Like that fucking blows my mind, and that's also terrifying. But like, because the movie blows. But I don't know. I don't know why everybody's like cheering this on. Like it's gonna save cinema. Like it's not gonna destroy cinema. But like. And everybody, and with the whole Martin Scorsese stuff, this kind of ties in talking about like how movie studios won't make big or small movies anymore. Yeah, because nobody goes and fucking sees them. Booksmart made like $24 million. That's nothing. That's like, it was made for cheap, so that's something. But like, it's not $1 billion like the Joker just made on a relatively $50 million budget or something like that. Like it's. Go see movies. Like the studio system is doing its job. It's making movies that are making that is their job. Bitching and complaining about the studio system isn't going to change anything. What is going to change things is if you go see Jojo Rabbit, if you go see Booksmart, if you go see The Farewell, if you go see A Hidden Life, if you go see Parasite. Thank you. If you go see, I have not yet seen Parasite.
I haven't seen any of those movies.
Peanut Butter Falcon, Honey Boy, like. All of these movies coming out, if you go see those, and if those make money, right, then those movies are going to get made. And this argument that, like, it sucks that they're not getting wide releases. It's very hard to find Jojo Rabbit. But the reason it's not getting wide releases is because the cities that they do release them in, nobody fucking sees the movies in.
Yeah.
So if they release them in 2 theaters, if both of those theaters sell out, next week they're going to open it in 8. And if all those sell out, they're going to open in 16, and it's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger. Just go see the fucking movies and don't blame the system because you're trying to play a different game. Like, I sound really mad. I'm sorry. But like,
yeah, I'm loving it.
It's like you're getting mad because you're playing Monopoly like it's life. And you're like, why am I not winning when I'm playing by an entirely different set of rules? Like, there's a contract between the studio system and the consumers. They make the movies, you go see them. If you give them your money, that shows that you want more movies like that, so they will make more movies like that.
Yeah, exactly.
And that is not what's happening. Right? Endgame made $2.7 billion. Fucking Joker's made $1 billion. Booksmart made $25 million. Like, nobody's saying, I think The Farewell made $19 million. And it's like my 3rd favorite movie of the year. It's fantastic. And it made like $19 million. It's a total lack of self-awareness going on all over the internet and all over like popular culture and stuff of just thinking that we don't need to put in any work to show that we want these movies. And I don't know, it's frustrating me. What was the last thing I said I got mad about? Martin Scorsese, Joker box office. There was one more thing.
Snyder Cut.
The Snyder Cut. The fucking Snyder Cut doesn't exist. All right.
Wait. Sean.
Hang on, let me rephrase that. The Snyder Cut did not exist. The Snyder Cut did not exist. They might have finished it. Yes, Mike?
Can I just say one thing before you move on?
Yes.
Zack Snyder just released a still image from the Snyder Cut.
Yes. Oh wow, he has a still image of a movie that he shot for months. Wow, that's fucking surprising. He has a still image? You mean they shot something? They shot something! The Snyder Cut did not fucking exist! Hey, they might release it. It might exist now because they finished it. But everybody that's like, the Snyder Cut has existed the entire time, you're fucking delusional. That movie never existed from the start. And you want to know something else? The Snyder Cut probably fucking sucks. Because Batman vs. Superman fucking sucks. And Snyder doesn't make good movies. I'm sorry. But
we got a lot of hot takes.
Whoa. Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead is...
Man of Steel sucks. But also, Man of Steel is the most depressing Superman film I've ever seen.
I've only seen half of it because he
was like, hey, he was like, let's take Superman and bring him down to his.
Oh,
and it's like, can we see Superman stand tall first? No, we're just gonna bring him to his knees immediately. Okay, well in Batman vs. Superman, can we see Superman stand tall? No, we're gonna hit him over the head with a crowbar now that he's on his knees. In Justice League, can we see it? Maybe he did have him finally stand tall. It shouldn't take 6 hours in movies, fucking 7 hours, because Justice League is like a 3 hour, or Batman vs. Superman is like a fucking 3 hour movie. It shouldn't take you 7 hours to finally see a happy Superman. Look, the Snyder Cut did not exist. Maybe it does now. Zack Snyder's not a good filmmaker. Justice League Snyder Cut probably isn't even any good.
Mike, anyways, what are you tired of people bringing up?
I'm tired of all of this. What the hell, Shawn?
I'm tired of people making fun of Zack Snyder.
I'm tired of
how long I've held this in.
Just kidding.
Months, years.
I'm glad we could give you a platform to rant about half of our fan base probably.
Yeah,
nobody
liked it. Look, I'm just glad that I ended the Snyder Cut debate right there. We're never gonna hear about it again.
If that's how you feel. Any last words, Mike or Shawn, before we move on?
I'm sorry.
Okay. Sounds good. Speaking of our overlords, we weren't, but here we are. Disney is pushing a heck of a lot of people for Best Supporting Actor and Actress Oscar nominations for Endgame. What do you guys think about this? They've pushed literally everyone. Literally everyone. Basically everyone.
What's her name is nominated? The girl who plays Okoye.
Yeah, but she was in like 2 scenes.
Yeah, but Brie Larson was in like 2 scenes.
Yeah, that's true. So, which is...
But
Brie Larson still had a bigger role. Mike, do you want to take this first? Because I just yelled for like 10 minutes.
And yet, no Best Actor. No Best Director.
No, because they're not no, Best Director they are pushing for. They're pushing the Russo brothers for Best Director.
Okay.
They won't win. I don't know why they're doing that, but...
I don't know why
they
should.
Everything that the Russo brothers accomplished is not taken into account when you think about Best Director. Like, what they did is they made this movie. Like, it's not the actual direction of the movie that's impressive. It's the fact that they were able to make this movie in such a short amount of time, and that's not what's judged. Exactly, but you can't judge that with Best Director. That's not part of it, you know. So everything that's like, they deserve an award. I don't think Best Director is that award though.
What about Best Picture?
Yeah, I think it'll get nominated. Oh well, I don't know if it'll get nominated. I think it should get nominated. If Return of the King got nominated, I think this should get nominated.
And if Black Panther got nominated, why not another Marvel movie?
I think Black Panther was a lot more culturally relevant than this was.
Black Panther, like as a movie as a whole, like I think that's why it got it. But I feel like Endgame will get the should get the nomination based on like everything.
Yeah.
Like what it stands for, what the Russo brothers did. Like just
that's Best Picture.
And the story. I mean, the story's all right, but there's so many other elements. Sorry.
No, it's fine. I don't think it'll win. Nor I don't think it should win either. But I don't think it stood a chance. Putting RDJ in Best Supporting Actor was the smartest thing that they've done. He did not stand a chance at getting nominated in Best Actor. It's just too full of a field this year.
Oh, okay.
I think he'll get nominated for Best Supporting Actor.
Do you think he'll be the only one?
Yes. If anybody else gets nominated, it will be Karen Gillan in Best Supporting Actress, but I think even that's a stretch.
Yeah, I see that.
I think Zoe Saldana could also arguably deserving, but if anybody, it'll be Robert Downey Jr. or Karen Gillan. And I think Robert Downey Jr. has a much better shot than Karen Gillan.
Right.
Agreed.
Yeah.
There were some people. So we have Robert Downey Jr., Chris Evans, Mark Ruffalo, Chris Hemsworth, Jeremy Renner, Josh Brolin, Paul Rudd, and Don Cheadle. I do not understand the Don Cheadle one.
No, that doesn't make any sense. I think Josh Brolin should have been nominated last time.
Yeah.
This is like, that was Thanos' movie.
Yeah.
This really wasn't, which was good. I mean, it's what you needed to do for this one. But I don't see why Josh Brolin, did they push for him last year?
I don't believe so.
Because I feel like,
I think they were pushing Black Panther all the way.
Probably.
Yeah.
Which also, I don't think he got nominated, but Michael B. Jordan is Killmonger.
That was a great performance.
Yeah.
He didn't get nominated. I don't think they were pushing for him either. I don't know.
I feel like if you're going to push for anybody, it should have been him.
It would have been him. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I think Best Supporting Actor is the best field for Robert Downey Jr. I think it's the only possible nomination that they'll get in the acting categories.
Yeah.
I don't think they'll get the Best Director nomination. I think that's kind of, again, I just think that the things that they should be awarded for aren't in that category.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
You know.
They did say on the show that Roxy or someone said that they felt like Disney might not be doing the best choice by nominating so many people. If they're really trying to get someone to win. Do you guys agree with that? Do you think it was a mistake for them to put up literally everyone?
No.
It's logical for them to do that because everyone had their chance to perform well in that film, and you could highlight a good performance from that film from each actor or actress.
Mike. I'm sorry, I just saw Mike tweeted while we were going on about Harry Potter.
Oh, you saw my tweet, huh?
Yeah, me too. No, going to show people.
I was going on to Letterboxd to look at my movies that I've seen this year because I was going to say I think it was fine for them to nominate everybody or to try and get everybody nominated because I think Robert Downey Jr. has the best chance.
Yeah, for sure.
I still think that that's a pretty low chance.
Yeah.
Because I just think I think Sam Rockwell is probably going to get nominated for Jojo Rabbit.
And they love him. So
I could see Shia LaBeouf getting nominated for Peanut Butter Falcon. I think they're running Brad Pitt in supporting for Once Upon a Time in Hollywood. He'll definitely get nominated. That's 3.
Oh, I forgot about that movie.
I think so. You've got 2 spots left there. Matt Damon or Christian. I think Matt Damon is going in support, or maybe they're both going for lead.
Oh yeah, for
lead.
Okay, maybe somebody else in that movie. There's just so many more movies coming out.
The competition is going to be really tight.
Yeah, I don't think any of them will make Best Supporting Actor or Actress. I think Robert Downey Jr. has the best chance.
Mm-hmm.
But to be honest, if I were picking, I wouldn't put him in there.
I wouldn't. I thought it's a fine performance. Like, honest, it's fine. I don't think it's Oscar worthy. I'm going to be honest.
I think it's Oscar worthy in another year.
Yes. Yeah, it all depends on what the competition is.
I just think this year there's been so many. Like, watching The Farewell. There's somebody I want to get nominated in there that I know, but the uncle from The Farewell, I think that was maybe one of the best supporting performances I've seen all year, and I don't think he's going to get nominated. But
haven't seen it. Want to?
It's a
love Awkwafina.
It's a fantastic. She's amazing. She's going to get nominated for Best Actress. I definitely think so.
Well, any last thoughts on our overlords, Disney?
Scarlett Johansson's not going to get nominated for Endgame, but I think it's a chance she'll get a double nomination in Best Supporting Actress and Best Actress for Marriage Story and Jojo Rabbit.
That's your prediction?
Because I think she's at a career best in Jojo Rabbit. So I think she'll definitely get Best Supporting Actress nomination for that. And if she's as good as people are saying she is in Marriage Story, I could see her getting Best Lead Actress for that. And that would be pretty insane.
Huh.
Looking forward to that.
Make sure you listen to Collider FYC.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I'm so excited. I need to listen to the episode they dropped today.
Definitely.
Very into it. So finally, okay. Well, finally, wrapping up this episode, wrapping up this week. It was Josh McCouga's last show on Thursday for now. We wish him the best of luck with him going out on his show. Still have no idea what it is. Super excited about it. Do we have any favorite McCouga moments from the show, from any Collider or anything at all?
The us moment.
The us moment
was,
yeah.
Oh my God.
Or SMD. Either us or SMD.
Yes.
Both
Oh yeah.
Good. When Ken came in, man, I teared up a little bit. I'm sad to see him go, even though even though we know he'll be back. I don't know. It's sad to see McCouga go.
Yeah, I love McCouga. He's the man. I mean, I aspired to be the McCouga, and I'm like the guy, the wild man. And sometimes I'll be mild. I'm the mild man. So sometimes I'm wild. Oh, I can't wait to see they're dropping the Wildberries match next week for Schmodown. So.
Oh man.
I can't wait to see that. Oh, McCouga, I love you.
I'll watch that one. I'm catching up, guys. I'm totally catching up. No, I'm not. I'm so behind.
Oh God, Sarah, you need to catch up.
Are you behind too?
Oh, I'm so behind.
Oh my God.
Behind you?
I have no idea.
I'm literally in like July. I'm before the tournament.
I'm probably back there.
Oh my God, you guys.
Yeah, I'm really far behind.
Our Carter Pirates at SEN Live are gonna be like, "Oh, you guys not watching the Schmodown? What the hell?"
Yeah, well,
this is an SEN Live, all right. This is
yeah. We don't have to talk about Schmodown anymore.
In fact, we're not gonna talk about Schmodown.
Well, my favorite Josh McCouga moment, it's not from this show. It's from the Schmoes No Show. I only think of this because I just watched the clip that someone posted about when he tried to kill Mark Ellis with the hot sauce. Great moment.
Oh, that, yes.
Yes.
That one.
That just made me really miss the Schmobile kind of vibe. But, not this show. It's fine. But, yeah. Josh trying to kill people. I also really liked him on TV Talk. I know our producer, Josh, has different feelings about TV Talk, but I really like Josh McCouga.
I still listen to TV Talk with him.
Me
so.
too. I love his rant when he went off on Supergirl, and which got him allegedly fired from TV.
Oh yeah, that's right. I remember that one.
One of the best.
Getting fired when Knapsack was like today. When Knapsack was like, we got fired together. When I unfortunately got the producer job, and at the same time, McCouga's like when he luckily got the producer job. Oh man.
Oh man.
Great. Well, good luck, McCouga. We love you, and we'll follow. I mean, I love you. I don't know. We'll follow your career. I'm excited for this show. I hope it's something I'll watch. I don't know. I can't imagine. It's got to be something with like food or alcohol, right? Like,
I think that's what we said.
I believe, from what I understand, it's called Happy Hour, and it's going to be him traveling to restaurants and bars and checking out the happy hours.
He already did a pilot for that, though.
Yeah, that's what the.
That's what's being.
The theory was that it was getting picked up now. I mean, we don't know for sure. We'll see.
We'll see. But yeah, we'll watch it regardless what it is because we'll support you, McCouga, through every which way.
Every which way. Well, that's going to be the end of our show here. I'm really bad at ending shows, so let's go with Shawn. Shawn, where can people find you?
Shit, I wasn't ready. Okay, you can find me on Twitter at Shawn_AFK. I'm sure they did a promo for it in the break. Maybe we recorded the promo. I don't know if it'll be in here, but Jay Wade and occasionally Kaylin and I are doing a Mandalorian recap show every week. That'll start up sometime after the first episode comes out next week. And then every episode thereafter. And also Mike and I do a Power Rangers podcast. You can follow that on Twitter at Go Into the Grid.
And Mike, where can people follow you?
You can follow me on Twitter at Mike Mixtape, and make sure you find that tweet I tweeted during the show as they were talking about Harry Potter. There's a little Easter egg for you.
Yeah. Oh my god. And you guys can follow me on Twitter at SCBock, so it's SSEABOCK. You can also find this show on the Merc with a Movie Blog feed, on all your podcast feeds, Anchor, Apple. Just go to Anchor, it's so much easier. Yep, that's going to be the end of us here. Please join us next week as we recap even more craziness. Yeah, okay, bye. I'll work on my endings.
Bye. We'll work on it. We'll work on it.
I get nervous and I jump the shark and I'm like, okay, bye.
Oh, I gotta end it.